Do you find it hard to read when you have to read things for the podcast in a row? Like we read 3 things in a row. You're currently on the last thing.
Yeah.
But in your mind, especially it's always around this season too, because I always want to read Halloween shit.
Yeah.
But then I jumpstart like these books we're going to do for the podcast. I don't know why we picked 3 this year.
Yeah.
But we have to jump them up in the queue, and then I don't get to read what I want, which makes the reading of the work that I am reading more daunting just because it's not what I was in the mood for.
Well, and also two out of the 3 we were asked to read.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to be complete assholes and, be like, no, we want to read other stuff.
We want to read the stuff that makes us so happy.
I want to read Stephen King again.
Yeah. That's also the problem is when we read like the work from indie authors, we need to read more indie authors, so it's a good excuse to read them. But at the same time, it's like, oh, we got all these masters of horror that we've been meaning to read, and we put them off to read indie works, which are not going to be masters of horror, at least not yet.
You're right.
So it's just
future masters of horror.
Yeah, it could be future masters of horror, and generally we usually do like what we end up reading anyway.
Oh yeah, it's not that it's bad or anything.
It's just that we go into it and it's like, man, I really wanted to read this new Clive Barker collection or something, whatever the fuck it is. But then it's like, well, I got to go and read some indie work first. And then it's like when your mind's constantly sitting there seeing that delicious turkey leg at the Renaissance Fair, you got to eat your hot dog first. You had to eat your old dried hot dog first. That's a horrible comparison.
Yeah.
The fucking indie authors with the dried hot dog. Why do they got to be the dried hot dog?
At a Renaissance Fair.
Yeah. I don't know where that came from.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I'm just trying to alienate all my peers for no reason. It's like, hey, you guys want to read my work when it comes out? No, because you think I'm also a hot dog. That's fair.
It's okay, guys. I'm the driest of hot dogs.
I am the fucking burnt gas station hot dog. Not even a plump Renaissance hot dog.
Just been spinning on that thing for like 3 days.
I'm not even all beef. I'm pork anus. I don't know where I was going with that. I just I find that usually what happens is, so like we picked 3 books. We read Deathbed Confessionals by A.D. Jones, a short story collection. That episode's already out. Enjoyed that. And then we went on to Medusa Zone by Paulie Cooley, which we are going to be recording after this episode today. That's probably going to drop in a week or 2 or 3 or 4. I don't know.
Whenever it does.
Whenever it does. I enjoyed that. I might have even read the Medusa. No, I think I read Medusa Zone after Deathbed. But by the time I got to Louis Stevenson's The Boatmore Butcher, I was burnt out on the indie books.
Right.
So it's like, I still enjoyed that, but it's just like, okay. And that was the longest one. That was like almost 400 pages. So I'm sitting there just like, okay. In my head, I'm trying to speed it up just because it's like, well, I wanted to read Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre, and I got all these classic lit books. I want to get back to Cormac McCarthy. I have all these things in my fucking head. I want to get back to reading. I want to read The Running Man before, the movie comes out. So I got all these things in my head I want to do. So by the time I get onto that 3rd indie book in a row, I'm just like, ooh, it's a mental fatigue coming in because it's also, they're all horror, and I don't necessarily like, that's why I went to Wuthering Heights, because that's just gothic, it's not horror. So it's like, I didn't really want to just go in, I want atmosphere, but I didn't want just all strict horror. So when I read like 3 of the same genres, kind of, granted there are different forms of that genre, the short story collection's all different horror stuff. Medusa Zone is more of a creature feature, and Boatmore Butcher is a slasher. But when I go into all that stuff, it just kind of starts. It's like watching, I don't know, like Shudder. You just watch a bunch of movies on Shudder, and all of a sudden you're just like, I'm a little tired of horror.
Especially like you said, in such a condensed amount of time too. Like
jumping right into the next one. Yeah,
because like as soon as we finished one, it was on to the next one, so we could do the episode and stuff.
Now there are a lot of people who are way more into horror than I am. And they love doing that.
Yeah.
That's all they watch. That's all they read. So like for those people, that'd probably be great. For me though, who likes to read pulp, just everything, I can't be bogged down with, normally what I would do is read a horror book and then a sci-fi book. I like to change the genres fairly dramatically when I get to my next read, which is how my writing generally is too. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to write something completely different. I think that's why I stall out on projects sometimes and then end up going back and doing them, like finishing them later, years later, because I will go into a book or a story and I'll write it. And then I'm like, I just wrote a horror story. I don't feel like writing another one. So halfway through, I'm just like, maybe I'll write a steampunk sci-fi story. Like, just something completely different. And then by the time I'm done with that, I'm so burnt out on that weird genre, I go back to the horror. That's how my reading habits are. So anyway, folks, today we got another horror podcast.
Yeah, because they said it's Halloween. Or
It's
October.
It's October. So I'm going to be discussing, when we are ahead of the game, which is nice. Oh, great. It bumped me. I got bumped.
You got bumped?
I had to reload.
Uh-oh.
The Strand magazine, which is it's one of my bucket list bookstores in New York.
Oh, okay.
The Strand. One of the most famous bookstores, as far as I understand. I'm assuming the Strand magazine is related to that. Could not be. I might be talking out of my behind. But strandmag.com has brought us the horror of it. The top 10 scenes in fiction. Death scenes in fiction, rather. So we're going to be talking about top 10 deaths. Fuck shit. We're going to be talking top 10 death scenes in fiction. And I already know that probably going to have to supplement this with another list.
Not that long.
Nah, it's not that good. So, stick around. We'll be talking death stuff. You are listening to the Drunken Pen Writing Podcast. I'm your host, Caleb James. With me, as always, Spencer. What the fuck? I'm out of it, man. I still haven't recovered. With me, as always, Spencer, the Huntington Hebrew Horror Church. I figure Huntington Beach probably has a lot of Jewish people in the community.
I guess.
I just assume any beach. They like it. They like it warm. They're a warm people, I think. And you're a whore for the Hebrews. What does that mean?
I'm not sure. Like a prostitute?
Not a whore. Horror.
Like a horror.
I guess you could be a whore. A horror. You're whoring. Is that like a verb for whore? You're a horror?
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, they're not listening for that. You know what they're listening for?
The top 5 deaths in...
10 deaths.
Oh, 10.
But they're listening because they have nothing else to listen to and they ran out of all their other podcasts. So we're the last choice.
They're probably taking a shit right now.
That's probably where you should be listening to this podcast. So the horror of it, the top 10 death scenes in fiction. This came out in 2017, so a little old. So there might be better horror. Probably not. I doubt it. Spoiler warning. We're just going to ruin stuff, you know? This post contains spoilers for A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. Oh, no. The Troop by Nick Cutter. Oh, man. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Oh, no, like 60-year-old book. We're going to spoil it. Hannibal by Thomas Harris. A New Fear by... you know what? I'm just going to read them. Lots of spoilers. If you folks don't want spoilers for these fucking probably decades-old stories, don't listen anymore. Just quit. Also, just fucking listen. Who cares? I feel like people actually want spoilers anymore. You know what? We're going to have the Spoil podcast where we only do spoilers. Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. We don't even give context for anything. Just do shit like that. People dying is chilling in Chile. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to read the intro. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to read. This isn't in a list, all right? It's fucking me up. It's just paragraphs broken up at random.
Shitty.
The Strand Mag. You think they'd do better. So we're starting off, I'm assuming, with The Troop by Nick Cutter. Are you aware of The Troop?
Yeah, well, not so much, but the Nick Cutter guy, I remember.
I know his name. I don't know anything he wrote other than The Troop, apparently. Yeah. I know that now.
He was on a Joe Rogan episode like
years ago.
Like a decade ago.
Well, The Troop is about a crew of Boy Scouts.
Okay.
They find themselves without a scoutmaster, as happens. Probably for the best. If they're in the woods. Battling personal issues. They're battling personal issues. Paranoia as well. And a genetically engineered intestinal hydatiid worm outbreak. Hydatiid? A word I don't know, worm outbreak. All while trapped on a small and secluded island. So I guess like Lord of the Flies, but with worms.
Who's camping on an island?
Boy Scouts.
I never camped on no island.
It's probably good, Spencer, that you didn't camp.
On an island.
It's a prepubescent boy. You weren't on an island with a bunch of men, adult men. May or may not be orange-faced at the time.
Yeah.
Ugh, yuck.
Do you think there's a canteen boy in the troop?
I can only hope. How the parasite... Canteen boy. That was so creepy. I can't believe that was a skit for, like a running skit.
Yeah.
How the parasite gets into its victims varies according to the situation, but the death that haunted me most in the book, and who wrote this article, is one Amy Lukovics. So this haunted Amy way back in 2017. haunted her even earlier because she probably read this before 2017, I would imagine. So the death that haunted Amy the most in this book is when Shelley, the antagonist of the bunch, becomes infected and hides in a cave, as you do. When approached, Shelley attacks and then explodes, and gushes of rotting organs and wriggling worms wash over the most lovable character in the book, effectively dooming him to death. So Shelley was a boy, I guess.
She exploded on a boy.
Oh, yeah, I get what. I don't know. Does it say? Did I read that wrong? I didn't read anything. Somebody got guts on them. Why were the guts rotted if the person was still alive?
The disease, the worms, the brain worms.
Well, they were full body worms.
But they start in the brains.
Probably. I don't know. I have to ask fucking RFK. The Haunting of Hill House is a staple in the horror genre. It's beautifully, brilliantly written, and has a shit ending, all right? I'm going to say it. Didn't like the ending. With a quiet sort of creeping horror that is slow to unfurl. Wait.
Does it kind of like pitter out like we've always like lived in the castle? Like,
nah, it's dumber than that. Wait a minute, what was I saying? With a quiet sort of creeping horror that is slow to unfurl the claws that will later slash your heart right open, Shirley Jackson was the master of atmosphere, and there is something cold, lingering, and strange that stays with you while you turn the pages of the story. Still, there was nothing quite so shocking and chilling as the final scene in the book when the unraveled main character, Eleanor, is being forced to leave Hill House, which she's grown to feel connected to. Before I tell you this ending, Spencer, let me just say it was a very good novel. As far as what was the title of this again? The top 10 deaths.
Not a great death.
Not top 100.
No,
wow. Who the fuck picked Amy? You suck at your choices. So, can you guess how Eleanor dies? I'll give the one spoiler. Eleanor dies, the main character, right at the very end.
Okay. Worms.
No, after a moment of quiet consideration, as she's leaving, you think all is well, and Eleanor's going to go and be the neurotic asshole that you've learned her to be somewhere else, away from Hill House. She drives her car straight into a tree, killing herself. Very abruptly, very stupidly. I don't even think it says she dies. I don't remember. I was just like, that sucked. I don't think the movie had that scene.
It was like the end.
The end. Yeah. It's fucking dumb. It's fucking dumb. Yeah, like, what a fucking... Oh, I can't live without my Hill House. I'm going to wreck into the tree at 20 miles an hour. I mean, good thing cars back then were just made of steel. Right. So it probably fucking killed her that way because there was no bumpers or anything, just steel right to the brain. But any other way, like a modern car, she wouldn't even been affected. Maybe a mild concussion from the airbag.
I don't know. Depending on the car, the car couldn't.
Cybertruck, she would have blew up into a million pieces.
Wasn't even just like the really just like, like fiber cars would get it crumpled in on itself.
Yeah, but they're made to crumple in so you don't fucking feel the impact.
Yeah.
But they go a lot faster than whatever speed she was going down a little driveway. Fuck that book. You know what? I like the book. Just fuck the ending. The ending pissed me off. It's like, why is it dumb? Why is it dumb? Shirley Jackson, why is the ending dumb? I'm sure in the 50s or whenever that came out, that was big. Oh my God, they killed the main character in an automobile accident, which happens in all our songs and everything in the 50s because everyone kept dying in automobile accidents. Because they had those big bulky cars that had no safety measures.
Had power fucking steering that you could barely
those brakes that you had to stomp and didn't work and locked up immediately. And then they had those fucking bench seats so you didn't have anywhere to go but slide. Like nothing held you into place. Anyway, we're moving on to Hannibal Lecter.
Okay.
The movies this person watched before she read the books.
Yeah.
As most of us did. But that did nothing to take away from the pure joy of getting through the heart-pounding series by Thomas Harris. One scene that will stay with me forever is from the novel Hannibal, when Margot Verger, the twin sister of the insufferable Mason Verger, finally gets her revenge against the twin brother who subjected her to extreme emotional and sexual abuse. Ew.
Gross.
How does she do it? Well, she stuffs a live eel down his throat, of course. The eel latches its razor-sharp teeth onto Mason's tongue and refuses to let go, effectively causing him to drown slowly in his own blood. A job well done, Margot. Well done indeed.
That does sound pretty creative.
How do you get the eel in there?
Well,
is he sleeping or?
Well, see, at first when I said, I thought she just got to go down his throat. Not to latch onto his tongue, like...
I think as it was going down his throat, it latched on.
Maybe.
Growing up, I absolutely devoured anything I could by R.L. Stein. This is Amy, not me.
Yeah.
I read some Goosebumps. I preferred the parody series Gooflumps, which had such titles as Eat Cheese and Die, or Eat Cheese and Barf. Sorry, not Die. They didn't have death in those books, I don't think. And I don't remember the other ones, but they were all very stupid.
Again, Caleb was very highbrow with his
Reading Moby Dick, reading Gooflumps. Yeah. So first, the Goosebumps series, and then on to Fear Street. The Fear Street books in particular were riddled with wacky yet harsh deaths, some of which still freak me out to this day. Oh, man. The perfect example? How about in Fear Street Saga's #1, A New Fear, when someone dies by bread dough? Yes, bread dough. Nick arrives home to find poor Betsy Winter face down on the kitchen floor, her hands bound behind her back, and when he turns her over, her face is lumpy and deformed. When he opens her mouth, white goo puffs out. Are you sure this was dough? And he realizes in absolute terror that somebody stuffed bread dough into Betsy's nose and throat, then bound her hands and turned the oven on full force. The door wide open, leaving Betsy to suffocate slowly as the dough rose. That is a cool death, I guess. Quite brutal for a kid's book or a young adult book. I guess the Fear Street was aimed at a slightly bigger audience. Older audience, not bigger. They like bread dough deaths. Maybe they're bigger. Next up, we're moving. Oh, I can't even. It's got words on the side and just.
Why?
There's not thing.
There's
nothing. There's nothing quite like a great anthology, and I more than enjoyed Slasher Girls and Monster Boys, edited by April Genevieve Tachoka. Can't say that name, and I'm not going to. In the skin-crawling story entitled In the Forest Dark and Deep by Carrie Ryan, a girl named Cassidy is haunted by a man-sized white rabbit, known only as the March Hare. But the tea parties this hare throws aren't the kind you remember from Wonderland. Instead, guests are killed, posed with bloody teacups, and strung up like a bunch of corpsey marionettes. Eek. I said eek.
Egad.
I like egad. I want to bring that back. Hitherto. Remember, I got to bring back hitherto. I didn't forget from last week. Hitherto and Vista are the words I need. Through the Woods by Emily Carroll is a permanent favorite of mine. The illustrations are gorgeous and go so well with the accompanying stories. All of them terrifying, but one in particular features a death that isn't really a death, but more of a taking over. All is revealed in the nesting place where a girl learns the hard way that her brother's fiancé has been taken over by the monster that burrowed itself inside of her. I only really have 2 words to sum up my horror at this one. Face tentacles. Just feel like women don't have a good
Graps on horror.
No, that's fucking sexist, you asshole.
I was completing your sentence.
I feel like their images, like what scares them and what makes them think, oh, what a terrible death, are vastly different than men. I feel like men are more pain oriented, you know, or more grandiose in the deaths, whereas women focus on things coming out, like the beauty side. It's like, oh, you know what would really suck if fucking your face exploded with tentacles. Whereas men would be like,
Though maybe the more it's more immediate to where, like, I think with the men it's more dragged out.
Yeah.
It's because I don't know if it's because, you know, the majority of them have, you know, the typical, like, men go through more pain, or, you know, other than, like, the childbirth thing or whatever. But, like, maybe that has something to do with it, like.
Right. Well, it seems these choices, whereas maybe this person just has a fear of choking and doesn't realize it.
Right.
Because it seems a lot of mouth stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they seem to be, like, things in your mouth and orifices and faces and, like, inside, like, things inside your body, which I feel like maybe subconsciously... that would be a fear women probably all have, is invasive things in your body.
True, yeah.
Going back to primitive times where they were not choosing to have the babies or cavemen.
Or a couple months from now,
probably. When we go back to that. So I could see like their women's brand of horror often reflecting the fact that things being invaded into their body would be probably more terrifying than men who, other than like prison butt stuff, it's like we don't really think about that too much. It's not really a fear like I'm walking down the street and somebody's going to penetrate me, you know?
Yeah.
That sucks. Next up, Cleopatra Brimstone by Elizabeth Hand is another anthology story from Poe's Children, the New Horror, edited by Peter Straub.
Oh.
All of the stories...
Before he died.
Yeah, all of the stories in that... I hope so. Might be cooler if he was already dead, beyond the grave. All the stories in that collection were damn good, but I really liked how dark and messed up Cleopatra Brimstone was. The story follows a traumatized young woman who moves to England and volunteers at a zoo, only to discover that she has the power to transform men into butterflies. The disturbing deaths come when you discover that she kills and mounts these men in cases for her own viewing, serial killer style. The story has stuck with me ever since I read it. That is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
It'd be creepier if they weren't dead when she framed them in the cases, but I guess when you're a butterfly, you don't really give a fuck anymore, probably. Next up, I think it's the final one. Oh, just a shout out to Amy Lukovitz, the author of this. She has a book out called The Ravenous as of 2017. It has a cover. Just thrown right into the paragraph of the next one.
I'm going to say it's not The Last Death.
It's a Harlequin teen. No, hers not her last one here is what was very popular at the time. Bird Box by Josh Malerman. Fucking garbage guy. Guy who wrote a shit book and an even shitter movie.
I'd say I haven't watched it or read it, so.
Yeah. I heard Ashley read it and said it was fucking written by a kindergartner. And the movie wasn't much better. So anyway, Bird Box by Josh Malerman blew me away from the first chapter. In this story, the world is invaded by monsters that, if seen by the human eye, cause people to kill each other and themselves. The main character, Malone, finds herself in a house with a group of strangers who soon become the closest she has to family. The real kicker, Malone's pregnant. And when she goes into labor, the monsters from outside make their way into the house. What timing? Malone is forced to listen to all of the commotion and chaos from the attic where she's giving birth. What happens next is heartbreaking beyond, but the chilling lines describing the character Cheryl's death haunts me to this day. Cheryl's head faces the first floor, her feet the second. Her body is horribly, unnaturally contorted. Fuck you, dude. You're shit. I don't like that guy. I don't like his writing.
Yeah, it's very limited, isn't it?
Just the whole fucking book is just, let me tell you all the stuff that's happening. You don't need to see anything. Even though the book's about seeing monsters. I don't know. I hate when shit writing is rewarded, even if the concept's cool. It's shit writing gets rewarded just because fucking things like TikTok and shit blow it up, you know? It's like, if it's a shit, terribly written fucking story, but the promotion behind it bumps it up, you know?
You're right.
Oh, we're gonna, for whatever reason, the publisher chooses this book to be fucking popular, so it becomes popular. Because if you look at the reviews, people are like, this book is written like garbage. Like from actual readers.
Yeah.
But people who don't read can read. That's what it is. A lot of these fucking books are focused, they're not aimed towards readers, they're aimed at people who really don't read but would like to say they read. So they read a shit book or listen to the audiobook, and then they're like, oh, that was easy to understand. I don't like fiction that's just easy to understand all the time. Mild challenge at, worst. You can have a little bit of a challenge, and that's fine. But people that just read things like, I want it so easy that I could fall asleep and still get the whole book. Fuck your face. That's it. That's not it. Actually, there's one more. The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. Okay, so they did end on a good one. I'm glad they didn't end it on shit. Also, no, there was one before that. So the one before that is the bloodiest book of any I've mentioned on this list is Bleeding Earth by Caitlin Ward.
Also, I think you might have skipped the ghost. What's the Paul Tremblay one?
It wasn't on here.
Oh, I thought it was like the.
Yeah, it said there was a fucking spoiler for it, but unless it was a spoiler in the introduction, I didn't read.
Maybe.
Anyway, in this apocalyptic young adult horror, the earth begins bleeding, as well as discharging thick clumps of hair and bones. Ew. Sounds like some Junji Ito shit.
Yeah.
Eventually, something in the blood causes people to lose their minds, as they do, and I'll never forget how hard my heart was pounding when I read the scene when the main character, Leah, is forced to kill her own mother in order to save herself from being murdered. And it's not a quick, easy death either. Caitlin Ward made sure that her readers experienced the horror and tragedy of the situation. Again, women seem to gravitate towards stories of killing their mothers, sisters, babies. A lot of female-driven murder seems to hit them harder than men, where it's maybe losing sons is a big one for men.
Yeah.
And I guess losing like your wife and daughter. But like being the one killing them is generally not the horror situation. If anything, that's like the fantasy. Yeah. I feel that some fucking twisted men might have. Anyway, the last one, we have The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. The death in this story doesn't stick out because of how gory it is, but rather how wrenching and casually violent. While the build-up in the story hints that perhaps winning the lottery is a wonderful thing, anyone who reads this massive hit of a classic knows the truth. The poor woman who draws the winning ticket is promptly stoned to death by the entire village, including her own family. Very good story. Do you feel better for having listened to that, Spencer?
Yes.
Why was there no... Oh, so let me read. There's only a paragraph, the introduction. Maybe it was just an art. Again, it's not listed.
Right.
Why do you have a list that's not listed?
I don't like that.
People dying in chilling ways isn't the entire reason I love horror, but I have to admit it does feel a little bit like the cherry on top of an already sick and delightfully twisted cake. And when it comes to on-page deaths, execution is everything. Something seemingly simple like someone eating poison food and slumping over, a la A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. Okay, that was just the example. Fucking dumb. I don't like that.
We read the first part last.
And it was stupid. So let me read. This one is very short, but it'll be supplemental, all right?
All right.
All
Supplement right in there.
right. Oh, wait, here's a newer version. The 9 of the most violent works of literary fiction. No, that's I'll read this, Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian, Ryu Murakami's... we should have did this one. This is fucking great. Ryu Murakami's Piercing, Bret Easton Ellis's American Psycho.
Maybe next week.
Roberto. Yeah, I'm going to save this. This would be next week's episode. It's not horror, but that's why I didn't fucking go for it. But it's not horror, but violent.
It's violent.
That's a thing I like. So let me go back to, what was the fucking one I was looking at? Twisted, but should I read this from BuzzFeed?
Yeah, BuzzFeed's great. Their articles are normally top notch.
Yeah, I think we already did that one before. What are the most disturbing novels? Top 10 scenes in literature to bring your terror sleep. Huh. And again, more Bret Easton Ellis. Where's the fucking fiction's goriest scenes? That's what we should have read. Oh man, there's a lot of good articles under this. Nope, this one's written shittily. Again, not list. Why? What's with just fucking putting shit in a random paragraph? Like, come on. How did that fucking thing disappear? It was the top one when I searched this 10 minutes before the episode, and now it's not even on here. All right, for whatever reason, I couldn't find that fucking article that I found immediately the first time that I chose not to do, because that one was literally just like a sentence from a book that it was just like, in Shakespeare's The Tempest, this character died, whatever it is, something like that. I thought, that'd be easy to do, but I found another one, the 40 most gruesome deaths in literature.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, we should have probably just did this one over that last one. That last one had all fluff.
Yeah.
It had like the title that allured you, and it wasn't very good. But this one gets right to the point, which I like. Since there's 40 of them, I don't want to do all 40. Should I just do ones we'll know?
Probably.
So I will name all the ones we go through, but I won't read them all because of the ones we don't know. So anyone who does know these will probably be pissed off that we're doing it like this. But so Edmund Bunny Corcoran from The Secret History dies, and we're not going to talk about that one.
No.
Nancy from Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. This came out in 1838. This makes me want to read it because this is the one I checked out. Nancy is an archetypal tart with a heart. Weird phrasing. She's a heart of gold kind of person, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as the lover of Oliver Twist's most dastardly villain, Bill Sikes, she is doomed. She's doomed. After mistakenly fearing she has betrayed him, Sikes batters Nancy to death in her bed.
Ooh.
Her corpse is so deformed that the person who identifies her body is so scared by the experience that they're led away in a straitjacket.
Oh, wow.
Jesus
Fuck.
So I kind of want to read Oliver Twist now.
Yeah.
I didn't know Dickens was so goddamn brutal. What the fuck, man? Next up is Lavinia from Titus Andronicus, William Shakespeare. This came out in the 1500s. Lavinia might be the daughter of the renowned titular Roman general, but that doesn't save her from quite possibly Shakespeare's most graphic death. After...
Have you read this one?
I have not. I don't even want to read this. After being raped in a pit. So not just regular, in a pit. Her tongue is cut off, so she can't reveal her attackers. However, after learning of her attack, her shamed father kills her by breaking her neck.
Jesus.
What the fuck did the poor lady do to deserve any of that? Roman times sucked. The Children, Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy. I don't know that one. The Old Lady from A Clockwork Orange. This is Anthony Burgess, 1962. You haven't read this one yet.
No.
You got it, though, don't you?
I do have it, yeah.
You have it. Expecting any morality from Burgess's chief droog, Alex, would be a forlorn exercise. But readers are still shocked by the violent death of the wealthy old lady. Alex and his friends decide to farcically burgle for hijinks. As the robbery descends into madness, Alex brutally and fatally attacks the old lady. That's in the movie. The Arab from The Stranger, and we read that. Albert Camus. Came out in 1942. We did an episode on this, but the cryptic Mersault is a masterstroke of fiction. The enigmatic everyman whose actions are diametrically opposed. Did this guy just read a fucking thesaurus and throw every word? Jesus. Actions are diametrically opposed to societal convention. So why would he kill the Arab he recognizes on a beach, repeatedly shooting him without emotion even after he knows he's a goner in French Algiers? Therein lies decades of existential angst. The guy was autistic. That's why he did it. I don't know. We're going to speed this up.
His mom had Tylenol.
Yeah, too much Tylenol back in the 30s. Eliana Ivanovna, I never could pronounce this, from Crime and Punishment. This one fucking, I mean, it's the main crime, but god damn it, this one was like,
is it the one that's like in the store or whatever you were telling me about? Like that starts the whole thing?
Yeah, it's the crime from Crime and Punishment. There's only one crime.
Oh, I thought maybe,
This is from Fyodor Dostoevsky, 1866. Readers are divided over Rodion Raskolnikov's, the protagonist of Dostoevsky's magnum opus. Is he a troubled young soul rebel or merely a racist murderer? That question may never be properly answered, but what isn't in question is the horrific manner in which he kills pawnbroker Elena Ivanov and her sister with an axe. It's not the fact that he killed the old crone Ivanov. Like, that one I actually was like, fuck that bitch. Because from modern sensibility, she was like I don't know, she was a pawnbroker. She was taking people at their worst and giving them pittance for their greatest things of value, their heirlooms and stuff, and then selling it to other people. But her sister was this very meek, innocent woman who, also why I hated the fucking old lady is because she beat the shit out of her sister. She was like real mean to her. But the sister was just like so innocent and pure, and you just like immediately liked her and felt so bad for her. And because she ended up walking in or witnessing the murder, he fucking kills her brutally too. That's the part that like, okay, like if he just killed the old lady, you'd be like, it's almost one of those like eye for an eye things where it's like, I mean, you shouldn't have killed her, but she's kind of a piece of garbage, so you don't really mind as much. But the sister's like, no, don't kill her. Emma Morley from One Day by David Nichols. Don't know that one. Lenny Small of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. This one was so fucking sad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like not even so much like it was like fucked up or whatever, but it was just more just like, oh shit.
Lenny Small is not, and he wasn't small, he was a big man.
The big guy.
Lenny Small is not the sharpest tool in the box, not by a long chalk. Is that the phrase, not by a long chalk?
Oh,
I've never heard that. But his friendly nature strikes an empathetic chord with the reader. That's why his death, mercifully at the hands of his best friend George to spare him from a lynch mob, still has the power to shock in its shocking reality. Power to shock in its shocking reality.
Oh, wow.
Getting shot in the back of the head, he got too smart to... I don't know. This is fucking phrased terribly. So basically, in the story, George, who might actually be his brother, I don't remember if.
I think they were friends.
It said they were friends, but I thought like an impression there. Whatever, regardless. Yeah, Lenny is mentally slow, but he's a giant, and he ends up like killing things on accident.
Yeah,
he ends up breaking a lady's
too hard.
He petted a lady's neck too hard, and it broke. So they had his brother / friend or whatever, George, had to put him down. It's very heartbreaking, very rough. Paul Owen from American Psycho, Bret Easton Ellis. You want real gruesome, Spencer?
Sure.
How about an axe through the face? That's all you need to know. We have Jack Firebrace from Birdsong. I don't know what that is. Trudy, Goodnight, Mr. Tom from, I don't know that one. Boxer from, oh, god damn you. Boxer from Animal Farm, George Orwell. 1945. After defending the exiled pig Snowball's reputation, Boxer the horse is worked and worked until he simply collapses. The pigs, which have by now lapsed into brutal dictatorship, explain to the other animals that they have sent him to the vet. In reality, they sent him to be slaughtered in exchange for a case of whiskey. So the Boxer represents the fucking, not the bootlicker, but like, if I work really hard, I'll eventually get to retire and live a life of relaxation. And he was very loyal, and he did the hardest work, worked harder than anyone on the farm. And then he finally breaks down. It's so heartbreaking how it's written, too. He's like, over time, over the years, he's just breaking down, but he's still killing himself until he eventually just can't work anymore. And then they said, okay, it's time. Because they promised him retirement this whole time, but they keep pushing it. It's fucking what they're doing to Americans now.
Right.
Keep fucking pushing it and pushing it. And then he finally thinks, okay, I can't do anymore, and they're going to send me away. And only, I think it's the mule or the jackass, the donkey, whatever. He's the only one that can remember things. The other animals, their mind like always lapses. And anyway, the donkey, who for the whole time doesn't really give a shit, he's like, whatever, he's just there. He's like a witness to everything. He freaks out. It's like, no, they're going to take him to the glue farm. No, they're... And it's just fucking heartbreaking, dude. You have to read that book.
Yeah.
Like it's going to piss you off so fucking bad.
Well, this is like this with a lot of like books that I want to read. It's just like, it's like, I want to read like that, the 1984, the fucking, even just like, like the lottery from the last thing, just like there's so many, but it's just like with everything going on now, just like I don't I don't know if I should, like,
You have to read 1980 or but probably that too. But you have to read Animal Farm. It's
Right.
short, but oh my god,
Lord of Flies. That was the other one I was thinking of. Like, I never read.
I read that in school. I have no
Right.
inclination to read that again. But god damn it, it's just fucking what they do to that fucking horse, man. Professor Moriarty, The Final Problem, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I don't know. That one doesn't give a good death. Okay, Myrtle Wilson from The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Myrtle is in love with the rich asshole, what the fuck was his name? Spencer. Tom Buchanan, who's with Daisy, and Jay Gatsby wants Daisy. Long story short, Daisy runs down poor Myrtle, I think on accident, and they ended up blaming Gatsby, and then Myrtle's husband shoots Gatsby. Very heartbreaking. I have not read this one. Tom Robinson, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Another one that you have to read that's going to fucking piss you off. What's so disturbing about Tom Robinson's death is its awful inevitability. After falsely being found guilty of raping Mayella Ewell, Robinson tries to escape but is shot by prison guards. He didn't do it.
Yeah.
He didn't fucking do it. God damn you fucking white women of the 30s, 40s, and 50s. You suck. Gollum from The Return of the King, J.R.R. Tolkien. Everyone knows that one, but that's sad. He chose the precious over life, but he was really old and gross anyway. But yeah, he goes in a pit of fire. I haven't read Dashiell Hammond yet. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. I have not read that, but I know the ending. She throws herself under a goddamn carriage and gets run over and trampled to death.
You think you need a couple of those to really finish you off?
Yeah, I mean,
unless if you get like right underneath the horse and you get the horse stepping on you.
Yeah,
but just like the wooden wheels, I don't think would do it.
Yeah, that's it. This one was okay. Susan Norton from Salem's Lot, Stephen King, killed by her boyfriend with a stake through the heart after turning into a vampire's basic Dracula, Dracula stuff. Fuck, dude. I didn't want to spoil this for you, but I'm going to because it'll be a while before you get to it.
Right.
Yamamoto from the Wind Up Bird Chronicle, Haruki Murakami. Right. Ooh, this fucked me up when I read it.
Did it so something like
I wasn't expecting it to be in the fucking book because it's a Haruki Murakami book, so it's weird.
Yeah.
But I was not expecting this fucking scene to come up. Being skinned alive gruesome enough for y'all, as Yamamoto, a Japanese espionage agent, is skinned like a peach by a Mongolian officer. His friend, Lieutenant Mamiya, is forced to endure the barbaric scene. He said he bore the pain without a whimper at first, but soon he began to scream. And also, I think the guy who watched it gets his legs broken and he ends up in a well. In like a Mongolian desert or something fucked up. It's like, Jesus, man. But that scene, like, because he's just describing like them peeling the skin and shit. It was rough. The kid, the man, Blood Meridian, Cormac McCarthy. Does he get his butt pounded to death in the... We don't know. We didn't get that far.
I would like to think so.
The fates of the kid and Judge Holden are irrevocably intertwined. Judge Holden catches the kid in an outhouse at the end, and we don't know what happens. But it's implied... Right. The implication was that he had a bad death.
Yeah.
Heathcliff from Wuthering Heights. I'm not going to read that because I'm reading that now. Right. Reading that as we speak. Piggy from Lord of the Flies from William Golding. You motherfucker. They let us watch this as a kid, the movie, and read it.
That is fucked up, right?
Things were never going to end well for poor Piggy. He's bullied for his capacious frame. He finally comes unstuck when hit by a boulder towards the end of Golding's majestic allegory. It's fucked up, man. They wanted to use his glasses and they end up fucking bludgeoning him with the boulder. He gets hit with the boulder and he dies. And it's like the kid who's bullied never gets his revenge or anything. He just gets killed. Fucking asshole British kids. Martin Vanger, The Girl with the Dragon's Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. Is this the guy that gets fucking dildo jammed up his ass and kicked?
Oh.
I don't know. He tries to make his escape, but he just gets burned to death in a car. So no, not that one. I only watched the movie. I didn't read it. Inspector Javert from Les Mis, Victor Hugo. It's one I got to read, but it's too big.
Yeah.
And it's French. You know how I feel about the French.
You love it.
This guy drowns. I haven't watched Train Spotting, Water, Kill Your Friends, Shroom. I got fucking interrupted here. No. Might have to read any more. Albus Dumbledore from Harry Potter. How'd he die?
I have no idea.
Poison? I don't care. I don't care how he died. How about that?
Magic?
Yeah. Basil Hallward from The Picture of Dorian Gray from Oscar Wilde. He stabs Hallward, believing the painting is the root of all his problems. Okay, he gets stabbed. Ooh, this one. Pat Finn from The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Mark Twain. You want me to read this?
Sure.
Okay. Huckleberry Finn's father was an abusive drunk, so when it is revealed he was the dead person Huck and Jim discovered in the floating house, he has been shot in the back. There are no tears shed. Jim refused to let Huck see the face of the dead man. So it was a sad scene, but not because the guy was a piece of shit. All right, maybe we should just end this. This just keeps going. Richard Parker, the narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym. No, I'm not reading anymore. It's too much. Too much. Well, you hit the gist of things. But yeah, real quick, what's a favorite death in a book you've read?
Any time that Stephen King takes out like one of the big assholes. I can't really think of one at the top of my head, but it's normally pretty good. Like,
yeah,
because like whenever you're supposed to hate a Stephen King character, like
you really hate him.
You really hate that fucker. Like,
yeah, I can't fucking.
Well, what about how does what's her face from the from Misery get taken out?
Oh, Kathy Bates' character?
Yeah,
I don't remember. I never read the book. I don't remember from the movie.
Yeah, but she gets her comeuppance, I think so.
Get shot or stabbed or
something like that. Yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, folks, that's an episode. If you want to check us out, you can do so at DPW Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You can follow me at CalebJamesK.com. Spencer's OnlyFans. He is down there in Huntington Beach, and he is the horror of all the Hebrews. Sounds kind of like you're a anti-Semite.
No, that's why I was trying to just go with just being that prostitute, because I figured that's
he is the Hebrew whore.
Yeah.
So he is actually a Jewish man who is giving his uncircumcised penis to, or actually they double circumcise. They don't double circumcise. He had an old man bite his foreskin off. I don't think that's how they do it either. He's a whore. A Hebrew whore. He's just wearing a yarmulke and he's giving some strange.
Yeah.
Getting some strange. He's getting paid for his wares. I don't think somebody's paying you, dude. Not even old Jewish ladies. Anyway, we thank you for listening. We'll check you out next week.